It was 2:17 p.m., broad daylight, when the sky darkened for exactly 10 seconds. I was standing in my backyard, watching my dog bark viciously at a patch of grass that looked completely normal. But then the earth moved. A giant black snake rose, silent, thick as my thigh, and its eyes locked onto mine. My dog didn't run. He changed. It began with silence, not the peaceful kind, but the wrong kind. The birds stopped chirping. The trees, usually swaying in June's warm breath, stood completely still. I remember standing on the porch with a glass of lemonade, wondering why the wind had disappeared so suddenly. Brutus was in the backyard, his head tilted at a sharp angle, ears pinned back. His body trembled, not from fear, but from something deeper, instinct. That's when the smell hit me. Not rot, not sulfur. It was wet soil and something metallic like old blood. Brutus let out a sound I'd never heard before. Not a bark, not a growl, a warning, deep, guttural, almost inhuman. He bolted to the far corner of the yard, where a flower bed used to be. I followed him, but stopped cold as the ground cracked with sharp, slicing noise. It wasn't an earthquake. It wasn't an animal digging. It was deliberate. The soil moved as though something beneath it was pressing upward. First a ripple, then a bulge. Then it split open like a zipper being undone. From the rupture rose a black, gleaming body. It wasn't fast. It didn't need to be. This thing had confidence, weight, purpose. It was a snake, yes, but not like any I've seen. It was thick, coiled like steel cables, and longer than a school bus. Its skin shimmered oddly, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. It had no visible eyes, no tongue, and yet it looked straight at me. I couldn't move. My feet were cemented to the earth. The air felt heavy, like I was underwater. Brutus stepped forward, head low, tail stiff, but unwavering. I screamed for him to come back. He didn't flinch. The snake didn't make a sound either. It simply reared up, as if tasting the sunlight with invisible senses, and pointed its face toward my dog. And that's when the ground went dead silent again. The sky, without warning, dimmed, not with clouds, but like someone had turned down the brightness of the world. That snake didn't come out of the ground to hunt randomly. It came with a purpose. And somehow, deep in his shaking bones, Brutus knew exactly what that purpose was. Brutus stood his ground, but his legs were shaking. I had seen him scare before, during thunderstorms at the vet, but this was different. His body trembled with something ancient, like a memory buried too deep. The snake towered above him, unmoving, observing, waiting. Then Brutus let out a single bark, sharp, strained, almost like a plea, and suddenly he collapsed. "No!" I shouted, running forward, but stopped halfway. Brutus wasn't breathing normally. His body convulsed violently. His eyes rolled white. I dropped to my knees, thinking he was dying. His limbs stretched unnaturally, bones cracking and elongating beneath the fur. His skin bulged in waves. His spine curved, reshaping into something that wasn't canine. At first, I thought he was being attacked from the inside. Parasitic infection? Snake venom? Possession? But then I noticed something horrifyingly majestic. His fur was falling away, not shedding, but evaporating like ash in sunlight. A faint glow rose from beneath his skin. His jaw split open wider than any dog's could, then reformed. His tail disintegrated and re-emerged as something more, something ancient. His paws twisted, elongated into 4 elongated limbs with digits, almost like fingers. And his face, his beautiful old face, it dissolved into smooth, featureless skin. No mouth. No nose, no eyes, but there was light, 2 glows, soft and golden, radiating from where eyes should have been. I couldn't scream. I couldn't breathe. I should have been terrified. But instead, I felt calm. Brutus, no. The being that had been Brutus, stood tall now, easily 6 feet. The air around him shimmered slightly, like a mirage. The snake, once so menacing, recoiled. For the first time, I sensed it was unsure, afraid. Then I heard a voice, not with my ears, but inside my skull. Smooth, warm, familiar. Do not be afraid. I am still Brutus. You were never meant to see this. But it is time. My heart raced. My thoughts tangled. I stammered a reply in my head. What are you? His answer came swiftly. What I must be to protect you. The snake lowered itself, hissing low, more in submission than threat. Whatever Brutus had become, it wasn't a dog anymore, but it was still mine, and it was ready to fight Brutus. Or whatever he had become stood between me and the snake like a living wall of light. The creature hissed, its tongue flicking invisibly through the air, but it didn't strike. It coiled in uncertainty, its towering form shrinking slightly. That's when Brutus turned to me. He didn't have a face anymore, but I felt him looking straight through me. It was never just about you, he said inside my mind. It was never even about this life. I stumbled back, trying to make sense of his words. The air buzzed around him like static, making my skin crawl. The snake slithered closer, but Brutus raised his arm, paw, limb, and the creature halted, its massive body twitching with tension. This land was a seal, he explained. Your home, your yard, this town, it all sits atop an ancient prison. Long before humans, before names, before time as you know it, beings like that. He gestured toward the snake. We're buried here, not killed, contained. Asterisk, I was placed here to guard the seal. My form was chosen so I could watch silently, blend into your world. But now the seal is breaking. The words hit like a punch to the chest. My backyard, a battleground for things older than the earth, and Brutus, my sweet, aging retriever, was some kind of celestial sentry. This snake is one of the early ones, he continued. A scout, a hunter. It was never after you. It was testing the seal's strength. It comes back every few years, stronger, smarter. I remember the rattles we heard last summer. The molehills that weren't molehills. The eerie silence some afternoons. It had always been watching. Brutus lifted both hands, and a circle of faint, golden symbols ignited around us. I saw them only for a second. Ancient scripts spiraling across the grass, glowing like they were carved into time itself. The snake hissed in rage and vanished, sucked backward into the earth, swallowed by the same crack from which it came. It's not over, Brutus warned. This time we pushed it back. Next time, it may not come alone. I stared at him, speechless. Your world forgets, he said gently, but I remember for you. Then slowly, he returned to his dog form, limping, panting, eyes tired, but still watching. Waiting true protectors don't always look like heroes, and the quietest guardians often carry the oldest burdens. This story reminds us that appearances can be deceiving. Even the most ordinary beings, like an old, limping dog, might be carrying out extraordinary roles in silence. It teaches us to respect the unseen battles around us, and the quiet loyalty of those who stand between us and darkness, without ever needing to be thanked or understood.